So apparently for years there have been rumors of a Beckham family feud.
You know, when you hear the name Beckham, you think global empire, right? It's more than just a family. Brand Beckham is this massive institution built on soccer, fashion, and this flawless public image. But what happens when the very core of that brand, the family itself, starts to crack? Let's get into it.
Because behind all the headlines and the billion-dollar deals, this whole story really just boils down to something way more personal. This isn't about David versus Victoria. No. This is about a deep, growing rift between their sons.
And it all just blew up with one single digital move. Brooklyn Beckham, the oldest son, was apparently blocked on social media by his younger brothers, Romeo and Cruz. Now, in the world these families live in, that's not just some petty fight, it's a huge public statement, which just leaves you wondering, how on earth did it get this bad?
Now, in the celebrity world, you gotta understand, a social media block is way more than just an unfollow. One source actually called it a public severing of ties. It's a very deliberate move, and it's designed to send a crystal clear message to everyone watching.
And that's what makes this so huge. See, for a while, all the rumors were about Victoria Beckham and her new daughter-in-law, Nicola Peltz. But this move, from brother to brother, that signals the conflict has now totally swallowed up the next generation. And that, right there, threatens the entire future of the family dynasty.
So, to really get what happened here, we've got to rewind. We need to follow the breadcrumbs and figure out what private frustrations and public spats led to this massive family fallout. And it seems to have all started with a post that looked pretty innocent. Okay, so it looks like the final straw, and this is kind of ironic, was a moment that on the surface looked like a peace offering. Brooklyn posted a public birthday wish for his little sister, Harper. You look at it and you just think, what a sweet gesture from a big brother.
Yeah, but as we all know, looks can be deceiving, right? According to insiders, his brothers did not see it as a real olive branch. Not at all. To them, the timing of it, the fact that it was so public, it was all just highly suspicious. In fact, they allegedly saw it as, get this, a clear PR stunt. The thinking was that Brooklyn was just using his little sister's birthday as a calculated way to fix his own messy public image, and his brothers were just not having it. But this didn't just come out of nowhere. This frustration had been simmering for a long time. If we just go back a little bit further, you can actually see the first public crack in that united Beckham front. And it happened exactly where you'd expect it to, in the comments section on social media. So picture this. Brooklyn is getting hammered online. You know, the whole Nepo baby thing. People saying he only gets opportunities because of his parents. Now, normally, you'd expect the family to circle the wagons, to show some support. But that is not what happened here. When one commenter directed the criticism at the Beckhams in general, the younger brother Cruz fired back with this just brutal reply, "Wrong brother, mate." This wasn't just him defending himself. The source suggests this was Cruz publicly saying, "I'm done." He was done defending Brooklyn's image and wanted nothing to do with it. All right, so where did all this bad blood even start? To find the real origin, we have to go all the way back to April 2022, to Brooklyn and Nicola Peltz's huge, lavish wedding. This is apparently where the seeds of this whole sibling conflict were planted. And look, it turns out things weren't exactly perfect between the brothers, even before the wedding. The source calls it a bubbling argument between Romeo and Brooklyn, this kind of long-running tension that was basically just sitting there, waiting for a spark. And that spark? Well, it reportedly happened right in the middle of all the wedding chaos. Apparently, Brooklyn's new wife, Nicola Peltz, felt threatened by Romeo's girlfriend at the time, Mia Regan. That incident is what's said to have turned that quiet tension into a full-blown argument between the brothers, setting the stage for everything that came after. Okay, so we've seen the timeline, right? The wedding spark, that public jab, the so-called PR stunt post, and finally, the block. But what's the real reason? What's the motive here? Why would Romeo and Cruz take such a drastic step against their own brother? Well, according to insiders, it really boils down to this. Romeo and Cruz are described as being incredibly protective, not just over their sister Harper, but over their parents too. They felt that Brooklyn's actions, his whole public persona, wasn't just hurting his own reputation, but it was causing real stress for the entire family. And eventually, their frustration just hit a breaking point, which led them to that final decision, we've got to cut him off. So when you lay it all out, you can see this clear step-by-step breakdown. It started with those private tensions at the wedding, which then spilled out into public comments online. That was followed by what they saw as a fake olive branch, all of it leading to the final decisive move, the social media block. It was a slow-motion breakdown of a family relationship, all happening right in front of us.
And all of this leaves us with one huge, lingering question. The entire Beckham brand was built on this perfect image of family unity, of loyalty. So with the next generation so publicly and so deeply divided, what does that mean for the future of one of the most famous family empires in the world?